Hi guys, and welcome to card number 5 in my Halloween card series. With this card, I'm going to be starting out by using a Whippersnapper stamp called Hairy Spider. I just love Whippersnapper stamps. So I'm going to stamp it on some Copic Quality Crafter's Companion cardstock, and then I'm going to color it in with some Copic markers. I also stamped it with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So I'm starting out on the little pumpkin basket, trick-or-treat basket, and I'm using YR02 as my lightest, and then shading with YR04 and YR07. Kind of just like dabbing the color in the really tiny spots like the handle and stuff, and blending it out again with YR02. So now I'm going to color the hat, and the hat I used a series of cool grays. I used cool gray 3, 5, and 7, and I just used the gray instead of black to kind of, give it a look of black, but without being so dark. And I'm just shadowing it with C5 and C7, and then going back in and blending with C3. I just love this little guy. I just think he's so cute. I'm really excited about my new Whippersnapper stamps because I've been wanting to get some for a while, and I finally did. So I think I'm hooked on them. They're one of my favorite type of stamps. The artist is just, I think, amazing. But I don't know. Okay, so I'm coloring the hat band, and I'm using YG11 and YG25, and then I'm gonna go and then I use YR02 and YR04 to do the little buckle, and then I color the little spider's face with V12, and then shade with V15 and V17, and then add a little bit of BG02 around his mouth. And then I use V15 and V17 for his little legs and hands. And now I'm just using a little bit of the YR series, the V series, and the YG to kind of just color in the candy in the little trick-or-treat basket. And then I use cool gray 0 and 1 to give a little bit of depth and shading to his eyes. And then I'm just coloring the legs with V15 and V17. This is going to be a really simple card. I just wanted to keep it easy and pretty basic. Like this one for me would be an easy one to mass produce. So now I'm grabbing my spellbinders, grabbing the fourth one from the center, and I'm going to use that to cut him out. Using a little bit of washi tape just to hold it in place. I'm just showing you the spellbinders, and they're the classic large circles. So now I'm grabbing a Amy R stamp that just says Eek in my VersaFine in Onyx Black, and I'm just stamping and heating it, and then taking my Stampin' Up! Punch and punching out the sentiment, and then I'm going to use my next largest Stampin' Up! Punch and kind of create a little black border for around my sentiment. Grabbing my little mini score pal, scoring it the A2 size card, and just scoring it and prepping the card. I'm using the My Favorite Things Orange Fizz 100-pound paper, and the black paper is Stampin' Up's 80-pound paper, and this I embossed the spider web with the Doris spider web embossing folder. And then just using a little bit of my Distress Seedless Preserves, I'm kind of just rubbing a sponge over it to give it a little bit more dimension. Now the paper that I'm using is from the Doodlebugs Halloween Parade collection, and I just cut strips of it, and then I also punched out that spiderweb border using the Martha Stewart's spiderweb punch, and I just used some of the coordinating paper for the spiderweb, and I'm just lining up the little strips of paper on the front of my card just to give it a little a little something extra, I guess, a little bit of color. And I just love this doodlebug paper. Trying to get it as straight as possible. I kind of got the spider web a little crooked, so like my paper kind of went on a little wonky, but it's not so noticeable. Like, it's not so bad, I guess. And I just cut out 4 different patterns of the collection, and then I also cut the scallop circle and then the little pattern paper circle using my Paper Artist 8 Scallops and Circle die set. And then I use my spellbinders to cut the smaller white circle for the spider image. And I just place that there on the card. And now I'm trimming off the excess with my Snappin' Up paper snips. And then I'm going to add my sentiment with some foam dimensionals. And then I decided I want to use some of my handmade tie-dyed seam binding that I made during the summer. And I decided I want it on the side, but I ended up changing my mind and moving it because I just didn't like how it looked on the side. So after I get done fussing with it, I'm going to decide, oh, I just don't like it. I'm going to move it. And so I wrap it around the bottom, and I just, instead of untying the bow, I just snip it in half. And I'm just looking at potential places for it to go and trying to decide where I want to put my little bow. Just using a little bit of washi tape, I just tape it around the back where I cut it in half instead of trying to fuss with the bow all over again. And then I'm just trying to put it where I want it. I decided I wanted to round my edges, so I just used an EK Success corner rounder punch. And then I re-inked my edges with that same Seedless Preserves ink. So now I'm just, sorry about being off camera, guys. I'm just inking the edges of my card base itself, just so it gives it a more cohesive look. Using a little bit of score tape on the back, just because I love this stuff, and I'm adhering it to the front. Then I decided I don't really like how the corners look, so hopefully I can get some of it on camera, but I'm just snipping the corners of the card to match the front of the card, so it's just a rounded card. So on the inside, I'm taking that same decorative stamp I used on the inside of the spider, and I'm stamping it off onto some scratch paper and then stamping it into the largest spellbinder circle. And then I'm punching some more of that orange pattern paper, and I'm using this Martha Stewart spiderweb punch. And then I just cut some strips of the same pattern paper that I used on the front, and I'm adhering it to the inside of the card. And then I decided I wanted a sentiment for the inside after I adhere all the stuff on the inside. And so I grabbed my Amy R stamp set again, and it's Wishful Thinking is the set I'm using. And I grabbed the Happy Halloween stamp out of the set, and I stamp it in the Onyx Black VersaFine ink again on the inside. And I'm just trimming out my stamp really quick, sorry guys, and seeing if it fit, and then it does, and so I decided I wanted to use it. And I'm inking it up, seeing how it stamps, and then I stamp it on the inside, heat dry it, and then on the front I add a little bit of stickles. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!